All right, here we go. We should be back in the building. Y'all know what to do. It is that time. Shout out to everybody who's in there on this Taco Tuesday. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. We're looking all crispy and clean on the screen. And welcome to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the ClassE Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE, at patreon.com/ClassEbeats. By the way, the link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment in the chat. We're going to get into it today. We've got some breaking news when it comes to Alan Jackson, Karen Reed, and Michael Cox. Yes, that is the commissioner out there in Massachusetts, specifically in Boston, and he might be in some trouble. Alan Jackson is walking around like the Grim Reaper, taking everybody in the BPD's job. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into what's going on with this crazy NBA gambling scandal. We've also got more on the Elisa Andrews and Julio Fulio trial. But before we get into it, I got to say what's up to the people, man. Shout out to everybody who's in here. Of course, we got my awesome, amazing Amy's in the building. Les Cleaver is in here. Just saying with Alicia. Taco Tuesday is in here as well. It's your day. Happy Taco Tuesday. We got Just Saying with Alicia is in the building. All right, good to see y'all in here. We are going to get into it and going to get started. If you haven't yet, can y'all please make sure you like the video on your way in. All right, likes are free. They help the channel continue to grow. They let the algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show. It shares the video, the channel, this live stream out with more people. So thank you to everyone that's done that. It looks like we have over 700 of you that have liked the video so far. Thank y'all, man. Thank you all for being here. So we're going to get into it shortly. I do have to ask one more favor. If you're feeling generous, share the video. It's free to do. All right, all you have to do is click that share button. It's got the share and it has an arrow curved and pointing to the right. You can click that and share it to Instagram, Facebook, IG. You can even share it to X or in your group chat via text. So thank you to all of you who've done that. And I will be giving a special shout out and a special thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile and sends in super chats as well. So thank you to everybody who consistently supports and shows up to the show as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, I think I see everybody's in here. Les Cleaver, one of the hardest working guys I know, said he's on a 10-minute break. Lord, that guy does not take any time off. Shout out to Les Cleaver. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, we should be good to go. Still working on this cough and get a little bit of the cough deterrent. And we'll go ahead and get right into it. Now, this is going to be an interesting one, and I know y'all are going to love this too. So when it comes to some updates with the Karen Reed trial, we got to talk about Michael Cox. Yes, the commissioner is under fire now for some of his conduct there in the Boston area. And we know we talked about Michael Cox, the commissioner, and Kelly Dever and the issues they had there. Michael Cox allegedly called Officer Dever to his office, knowing that she was going to testify in Karen Reed's trial, and said, "Hey, Officer Dever, I know you're going to be testifying soon in this trial. I just want you to remember to do the right thing." Now, it's being alleged that he said that. Michael Cox was confronted about that, and he then denied saying that. Says, "I meet with a lot of people in my office. I don't know what I said to this lady. I don't even know who Kelly Dever is." Now he's under fire by Alan Jackson. Alan Jackson saying he is a liar, not only about this situation, but about another situation we're going to get into shortly. Check this out from Boston News 25.
25 investigates breaking developments in the aftermath of the Karen Reed case. Investigative reporter Ted Daniel joining us now. Ted, as we first reported just 30 minutes ago, this has to do with Boston police.
Rachel, 25 Investigates has a copy of a letter Karen Reed's attorney, Alan Jackson, sent to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu and the head of the Post Commission. The letter is scathing. In it, Reed's defense team calls out the head of the Boston Police Department.
Uh-oh.
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with a Karen Reed.
The letter talks about comments Commissioner Michael Cox made to reporters about Reed and then Boston police officer Kelly Dever, who testified in Reed's retrial. Dever spoke about a meeting she had with Cox prior to her testimony. Cox was asked about all of this in July.
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So, you know, I don't.
Yeah, hey, come on. Stop the cap. Come on, Commissioner. For real, y'all believe him?
I don't know. I was struck. Like, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed race? I never have said those words together. And so the fact is, you know, it's much to do about nothing.
Jackson's letter states that Cox has been caught in the lie, and not a small one, adding, for the commissioner to suggest that he had nothing to do with the Reed case endeavor defies both logic and leadership. Jackson points to an email Cox received in 2024 from a Boston FBI agent about the Reed investigation. That letter directly references then-Officer Kelly Dever. Jackson also references Cox's official calendar, which lists a meeting with Dever. Dever confirmed.
Oh, he's cooked. Dang. We're going to get into the letter, and I'm going to read the full letter to you guys in a second. But this is bad. This is so bad. If the commissioner get caught up, man.
That meeting on the stand. Dever also testified that she was mistaken when she told FBI agents that she saw two people near Karen Reed's Lexus in the Canton police garage for a, quote, wildly long time.
It was a distorted memory. Therefore, I can't state it because at this point it would be a lie.
Lord.
So Jackson wants Post, the agency that oversees police officers in Massachusetts, to launch an investigation of Cox. And Jackson's letter says Cox should be added to the Brady list. That's a list of untruthful police officers. We reached out to the Boston police a short time ago. We just got the letter within the last hour. We'll let you know if we do get a response.
All right, so this is going to be good. We're going to get into the letter. I want to know what y'all think about this. First, before we read the letter, what's your initial reaction? What do you think is going to happen and go down with Commissioner Cox? Let's go ahead and get to this letter. Shout out to the awesome, amazing Amy for posting this over on X. If y'all don't follow Amy, make sure you do that at IAMYLEIGH. That's Amy Lee over on X. She says, Alan Jackson and Karen Reed are fighting back. AJ wants Officer Commissioner Cox on the Brady list immediately. And we saw this happen with Kelly Dever, right? Kelly Dever, she's had all those false memories. She was a mess on the stand, had an attitude with Alan Jackson, and then she eventually had to resign. I believe she was fired, honorably discharged, however you want to say it. She resigned and is no longer a police officer. Now Alan Jackson, he's going after the commissioner. This is crazy. Will Commissioner Cox do the right thing, Amy says, and resign ASAP? Page 2 through 3, first comment in the chat below, she says, Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox was the subject of a scathing letter sent to Mayor Michelle Wu for Karen Reed's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, who demanded that the BPD head be placed on Boston's Brady list for officers with credibility issues. Let's check it out. We have the Honorable Michelle Wu, that's the mayor, and Alan Jackson writes a letter to her. And he says, immediate Brady listing and post review for Commissioner Michael Cox. Post is the organization, as we heard, that's used to review these types of internal affairs with the police department there. Madam Mayor and Director Zuyeg. We're going to say Director Z because I'm going to mess up his name. Boston Police Officer Commissioner Michael Cox has been caught in a lie, and not a small one. On July 10th of 2025, Commissioner Cox publicly denied any connection to the Karen Reed case or to Officer Dever. He was asked about the allegation that he met with Dever before she was called to testify in the first Reed trial in 2024. If you guys haven't seen that full video, I've got it for you here. We're going to look at it and view it one more time in just a second. So hang on. And that he told her to do the right thing. He denied that. In his unequivocal denial, Commissioner Cox stated, I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person, Kelly Dever, was associated with the Karen Reed case. He doubled down. I didn't know that Officer Dever was associated with that case. I was struck like, what do I have to do with Karen Reed case? I never said those words together. So the fact is it's much to do about nothing. AJ goes on to say, those statements were false, patently false, knowingly false. Commissioner Cox, the head of the Boston Police Department, actually asked, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed case? Well, the answer is obvious. Excuse me. The answer is obvious. One of the officers was dead, murdered, and the victim's body was discovered in the front yard of another Boston police officer. For the commissioner to suggest that he had nothing to do with that case defies both logic and leadership. Common sense tells us that he had everything to do with it, and we said this when we first heard Officer Commissioner Cox's denial. Newly obtained evidence proves that Cox knowingly misrepresented his involvement. On February 22nd of last year, the FBI's Boston field office sent Commissioner Cox an email explicitly referencing Dever and the Reed investigation. The email from Assistant Special Agent in Charge Stephen Kelleher, he said, "Just a reminder, the documents were released today to the DA's office late last night. The officer we spoke about is Kelly Dever." Oh, man. Commissioner Cox being thrown under the bus by the FBI. The very next day, on February 23rd at 11 a.m., Cox's official calendar lists a meeting with Officer Dever, exactly as Dever would later testify and Cox would deny. The timeline is indisputable. He obviously called Officer Dever to his office and said, "Hey, Kelly, what's this about? What we got going on? What'd you see? What'd you do? Hey, just remember, do the right thing." This timing is unexplainable. Cox televised claimed that he had nothing to do with Karen Reed and didn't even know this person, Kelly Dever, was associated with the Karen Reed case was a bald-faced lie. One now disproven by documentary evidence originating from the Federal Bureau of Investigation itself. As head of a law enforcement agency, Commissioner Cox is an officer pursuant to the Massachusetts General Laws of Chapter 6E, Section 1. When a police commissioner lies about his own contacts with the FBI and meetings with an implicated officer, he forfeits the credibility and integrity his oath requires. That is the very definition of a Brady-Giglio violation under Brady versus Maryland and Giglio v. United States. Prosecutors have an affirmative duty to disclose any evidence of dishonesty by a government witness or official in every case where the official might either testify or influence the testimony of the evidence provided by others. Commissioner Cox now fits squarely within that category. He lied, guys. Accordingly, Commissioner Cox must be referred for immediate inclusion on the Brady list maintained by the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office. In addition, the Post Commission must initiate a full disciplinary review for dishonesty, lack of candor, and conduct unbecoming of an officer under Policy 102, which mandates that employees shall conduct themselves at all times, both on duty and off duty, in such a manner as to reflect most favorably on the department. This is not a political issue. This isn't a get back. This isn't something we want to do because we hate that the Commonwealth wasted 4 years plus of Karen Reed's life. No, it is a question of credibility and public trust. When Boston's top law enforcement officer lies about his own knowledge of a case under federal scrutiny, the stain spread across the entire system. Accountability cannot stop at the commissioner's door. The people of Massachusetts deserve law enforcement leaders who tell the truth, not those who hide behind it. In light of the documented evidence now in public record, there is only one reasonable recourse. Add Commissioner Cox to the Brady list and open an immediate post inquiry. Sincerely, Alan Jackson, attorney for Karen Reed. This guy, I've officially named Alan Jackson the Grim Reaper because not only did he get Officer Dever, he's coming for Commissioner Cox too. What do y'all think is going to happen? Let's replay this one more time so we can hear the lies that this man allegedly told. Check it out.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dever. The defense implied that you influenced her testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case. You know, I have an organization full of over 3,000 people, and we support all our folks. And the reality is that, I get information passed on, whether people are high or low, and I encourage everyone. right? And if you're going to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed. It had nothing to do with Karen Reed. No discussion about
Did you
Karen.
tell Officer Dever to do the right thing?
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So, I don't know. I was struck. Like, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed case? I never have said those words together. And so the fact is, it's much to do about nothing. We have employees here that we have to develop and encourage and do things, and I do that for tons of our employees.
Do you feel that you were inappropriately drawn into this as some sort of boogeyman?
That case is over, and we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about. I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. I was in the state of Michigan.
Man. Oh my gosh, come on, man. Officer Cox is in trouble. It'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward. Do y'all think he's going to get the Kelly Dever treatment? Do you think Commissioner Cox is out of there? Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. Not looking good for our guy over here. Shout out to all 1,000 of you that are in the building. Thank y'all for being here. Make sure you say what's up in the chat. And if you haven't yet, please like the video. Excuse me, y'all. I need to get a cough drop real quick. This cough, man, it's still getting me. Let me see what y'all are saying. Shout out to Amy in here, reminding y'all to like the video. They're all going down one by one. And we just talked about Michael Proctor. What was it, last week? Proctor now is over there. He's got his emails going back over a decade. Over a decade. We're going to see the truth is going to be found out. Rumors have been flying about corruption in Boston for decades, and finally the truth has prevailed. Starts from the top. Good mornings and greetings from Northern Michigan. Oh, we were just talking about Michigan. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. Thank you for this. I'm on rewind though. Thanks for being here, Green Eyes. We've got this is what they get for framing an innocent person. Corruption is insane. Because they was all in it together. They thought it was open and shut. Blame it on the girl, he said, right? What do you say? Pin it on the girl, I think is what the exact phrase was. Good morning, Mary's up in here. What's up, Mary? Shout out to Tracy in here. Good to see all of y'all. No need to say allegedly about Cox staying. He's caught on tape. An official FBI document. Corrupt Boston. Nothing will happen to him. I don't know. They got Officer Dever out of there. I don't know, man. This is looking bad. I want to pull up that letter again, just real quick. And shout out to Amy for posting that over on X, because this is just, they've got his correspondence with the FBI. Just a reminder, the documents were released to the DA's office late last night. The officer we spoke about is Kelly Dever. And then he sets up a meeting. Hey, Kelly, come on down. We gotta have a conversation. For me, though, the question would be motive, because Commissioner Cox was newly appointed at the time, from what I understand with the timeline. So why would he meet with her? Why would he tell her this? Would be my question. It says Norfolk, Massachusetts is a scary place to be with all the corruption. And the only reason we're hearing about and finding out about this is because the Karen Reed case was so big, right? If that didn't happen, we wouldn't know anything about this. And Boston would continue to do what Boston has a reputation of doing. Again, I didn't make this up. So, I mean, if anyone from BPD is offended by this, that's not my fault, guys. I mean, y'all, there's a long history of corruption out there, and you're hearing it from the people. Let me get the commissioner back up here and we'll move to the next topic. Good morning, says Jay Buckmaster. Good to see you. All right, I gotta get rid of that cough drop for a minute before we get into our next topic. Thank you again to everybody that's in here. We're gonna keep it moving because we have a ton of subjects to get into today. Ever since that movie In Too Deep with LL Cool J, Blue Hill Avenue, them are the true stories. Yeah, what was the one with Ben Affleck in it? And that's a great movie. It wasn't called The City. What was that movie called? Somebody's gonna know it. I bet Amy knows it. The Town. That's what it was called. The Town. That was a good movie. That was a really good movie. There's a lot of movies out there about Boston. They from Boston. Yep. The Town was a good one. Wasn't Amy Adams in that movie? What's another good Boston BPD corruption movie? There's so many of them out there. Shout out to D's in here this morning too. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the news about what's been going on between the FBI, the NBA, with this whole entire gambling scam issue, our gambling scheme, is getting crazy because some of the key people that were arrested, Chauncey Billups, we know he was arrested and released, are coming to the forefront. And now we've got to talk about Terry Rozier. If you don't know who Terry Rozier is, when all of this went down, he was playing for the Charlotte Hornets, was a point guard for the Charlotte Hornets, and now he's playing for the Miami Heat. He's been placed on administrative leave, but there's a lot of issues people have with what's going on during his administrative leave, and we're going to get into it in a second. But Terry Rozier was recently released on a $6 million bond. We're going to get into the details here shortly. Y'all check this out from CBS in Miami.
Now at 11, a Miami Heat player is out of jail after being arrested by the FBI. Terry Rozier is accused of taking part in a massive illegal sports betting scheme.
And he's not the only NBA superstar involved in the scandal. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana.
And I'm Elliot Rodriguez. CBS News Miami's Zakari Carrero is at the ClassE Center in downtown Miami, where fans were expected to see Rozier take the court tomorrow.
Miami Heat fans will have to wait some time because the NBA has sat Rozier out because of this case. Now, the NBA star walked out of custody in Orlando just hours ago. His attorney calling this arrest a photo op and saying they are confident they will win this case.
It's a photo op, but this dude paid a $6 million bond. What do we think is fake?
Heat guard Terry Rozier walked out of custody in a black hoodie and shorts and made his way to a black SUV waiting for him in the distance. The FBI took him into custody at the team's hotel in Orlando at 6 a.m. Thursday.
The fraud is mind-boggling.
The charges stem from his time with the Charlotte Hornets during the 2023-2024 season. According to the indictment, he sold the information to place fraudulent wagers in exchange for approximately $100,000, saying he would leave a game early due to an injury.
He had medical follow-up in the days after. He had a bunch of people that he appropriately confided in that he had an injury, and he didn't play another game.
The indictment also alleges Rozier told people to place bets on his own under. At one point, the Miami Heat player was being investigated by the NBA for a similar probe. He was cleared in that case. This is what he had to say back in September. We're going to go through that indictment.
Nobody want to go through, be accused of anything, but right now it's just, I feel like it's not a factor in my mind, and I can focus on playing basketball. I'm just happy I got a whole reset in the offseason.
His attorney says the FBI was looking for a moment by arresting his client.
They wanted to have a little arrest, a little perp walk, a little support of their press conference up in New York, and it was completely avoidable.
Also,
how? He paid $6 million. They didn't do that just for fun.
Perp walk, a little support of their press conference up in New York, and it was completely avoidable.
Also included in this case is Hall of Fame player and Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups, who was seen walking out of custody, as well as former Miami Heat player Damon Jones. Both men are accused of participating not only in illegal gambling, but rigged poker games allegedly set up by Italian crime mob families out of New York. They're accused of luring people to play against the stars while using things like X-ray tables to cheat. As part of his bond requirements, Rozier had to put up his $6 million Florida home as collateral, surrender his passport, and provide a DNA sample. Of course, we will bring you the latest on this case on air and online. In downtown Miami, Nakaya Carrero, CBS News, Miami.
Man, if the Fed's gonna get you, they're gonna get you, aren't they? He had to put up his house. And we're gonna talk about that in a second, but maybe one of the reasons that Terry Rozier is going through this is because, yes, he is still going to get paid while he's on administrative leave. There has been so much said about this. We're going to read the article here from Front Office Sports about how this man is still going to get paid millions of dollars to be investigated by the FBI and to sit on not even the bench. And will he even be allowed in the arena? Probably not. Terry Rozier will be paid his full NBA salary while on leave. Yes, Rozier will be paid the final year of his contract while on leave from the Miami Heat, but the NBA doesn't have to wait for the legal process to change that. What is going on? Terry Rozier's leave from the Miami Heat will be fully paid until the NBA determines if he broke league rules. How are they going to figure that out? We don't know. Rozier was arrested on Thursday morning alongside Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups as a part of the federal gambling probe he's been linked to since January. Rozier was on the bench for the Miami Heat this season when they played the Magic in their opener, but he did not play in the game. Hours after his arrest, Rozier was arraigned in federal court Thursday afternoon and released on a $6 million bond. Rozier was previously cleared of any NBA investigation, but the FBI found reason to arrest and charge him with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Each charge could carry up to 20 years in prison. I hope it doesn't happen. Check out how much the money this man was making. In August of 2021, Terry Rozier signed a 4-year, $96 million deal with the Charlotte Hornets and was traded to Miami in January of last year for Kyle Lowry and a first-round pick. He's in the final year of his contract and is set to make $26.6 million this season, roughly $25 million of which is guaranteed, which is why he's getting paid. For his career, Terry Rozier has made about $162 million in 10 seasons. According to Exhibit F7 of the NBA CBA, which touches on administrative leave, any player on leave shall be eligible or ineligible to play in any of his team's games. However, the player will continue to receive his salary and other welfare benefits to which he should be entitled as an active player. Wow. The uniform players contract that all players sign gives the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver the ability to suspend Rozier from the NBA or ban him if he finds he has bet on NBA games. The NBA Operations Manual also forbids players, coaches, and executives from giving inside information to gamblers. Why they would do this, I have no idea. If the 6'1" guard is found to have been violated the rules, Adam Silver could ban him from the NBA. If he were banned, Rozier's payments would cease immediately, and his $26.6 million contract would be removed from Miami's payroll and stop continuing or counting, against the salary cap. The Miami Heat currently have a payroll of $186 million, according to Sports Track, which is $1.6 million below the luxury tax. All right, so Terry Rozier, could potentially lose a lot of money, but he's also made a lot of money too. Why someone be involved in this? Allegedly, we don't know. Now, when the news came out that Terry Rozier was going to get his full paycheck until they decide what to do with him, of course, there was some outrage about this. This is specifically outrage from the WNBA, who is facing battles of their own. If you follow the NBA and what's been going on, the WNBA is currently in a heated battle trying to get more pay for their players, more base play for players when it comes to this recent CBA agreement, right? So when this news dropped, you got Sophie Cunningham, one of the top players in the league, teammate of Caitlin Clark, says, "No way, please tell me this is fake," when it comes to Terry Rozier getting paid his full contract while on leave. Now, the WNBA, some would say, is subsidized by the NBA, depending on how you look at it, because it hasn't been producing the way it's supposed to. And a lot of the WNBA players are fighting to get paid more money. I'm sure that $26 million could go a long way in the WNBA right now. I mean, they could probably use that to cover the salaries of every player in the WNBA next year alone. But what does Sophie Cunningham have to say? She expresses her disbelief over Rozier's play amid the gambling scandal. Indiana Fever guard Sophie I don't know why I call her Sophia. Sophie Cunningham expressed disbelief after finding out the NBA star Terry Rozier will still collect his full salary for 2025 to 2026 season, despite being implicated in gambling scandal that has rocked the world of the NBA. The league has felt the heat. The league has felt the heat last week after Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier found himself at the center of one of the NBA's most shocking scandals in recent years. Federal agents arrested the Heat player in Orlando, Florida, after uncovering his alleged involvement in the illegal insider sports betting operation that also implicated Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups, as we know, and former Cleveland Cavaliers assistant coach Damon Jones, who is close to LeBron James. LeBron James has been mentioned in this as well, not being implicated into committing any crimes, but Damon Jones being tied to LeBron James and close to Clutch Sports might be an issue there. According to reports citing federal investigators, Rozier conspired with acquaintances to manipulate games outcomes for financial gain. In one instance, from March 23rd, 2023, while with the Charlotte Hornets, he reportedly told a friend that he would fake an injury early in the game. Y'all believe it? I'm believing innocent until proven guilty, but seems like something simple to do. Terry Rozier then played just over 9 minutes before exiting the game, allowing bettors who weighs the under on his performance to profit massively. However, despite these serious allegations, the NBA star will still collect his $26.6 million salary for the full season while on administrative leave. His total contract with the Miami Heat stands at $96.6 million. Guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments in the chat. Seems like a pretty simple investigation by the NBA, especially in this Charlotte Hornets game back in 2023. You find out who the person was that Terry Rozier contacted. You asked him, hey, did you have anything to do with this? Did Terry Rozier tell you this information? Did he give you this information? We're going to find out. Just let us know. Is that what happened? Is that what went down? Say, yeah. Can you send us screenshots? Yes. His screenshot. When did you talk to him? We talked to him on this day. All right, Terry, you're out of there. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. Innocent until proven guilty. What do y'all think? My. We've got 9,000 people in here. Shout out to all 9,000 of y'all in the building. We inflating the numbers. They're all crooked from beautiful Michigan. Go Lions. Hey, shout out to the Lions, man. And the Pistons too. Fun team to watch. I don't know, man. Mob moves in silence. Could it be possible that the NBA dudes didn't know they was the real mob? I mean, if you know someone's betting you're under and you're projected to start and score 10 points and people are like, oh, Terry Rozier is in. I know he's going to score at least 10 points. And they're betting you're going to score 10 points or over. Right. And then somebody else is like, I know Terry's going to go out 8 minutes into the game. I'm going to bet the under, and I'm going to bet he's going to be under. He's going to be under 10 points. He's going to be under 2 points. He's going to be under 1 point. Terry Rozier goes in, he throws up a couple shots, and then he starts limping. Oh, that's a payday right there. Wait till they start indicting refs across all sports. They've already done it in the past. I think they've let so many people get away with it. And by get away with it, I mean just not investigating it at all. Because we know this happens regularly. You've seen some weird things, weird substitutions by coaches. Players just having a really off game, which they're human. We get it. It just doesn't make sense. What do y'all think, man? And we've got more when it comes to this NBA situation, too. We're going to hear from the commissioner here shortly. Trying to get this call underway. Thank you. We got 1,100 of y'all in the building. Shout out to the gang. The mob created and built Las Vegas. Perfect way to launder some money. Thank you to Amy for reminding y'all to like the video too. Mr. Tesla's in here. What's up, man? Good to see you as always. All right. Speaking of the NBA, we got to talk about what's going on with the NBA commissioner. And I actually need to remove this one because we're not going to do that. All right. Let's see what Adam Silver has to say for himself, because this man, you want to talk about, he is facing a lot of heat right now, and he's about to go before Congress too. Oh my God. Mr. Brown is in here dropping the 10 bomb. Thank you, my friend. Shout out to Mr. Brown. Hopefully you're doing well and relaxing over there. Doesn't even ask a question, doesn't leave a comment, just showing some love. Wow. Thank you, my guy, for the support. Consistently showing up, consistently showing love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Let me see. I think we should be good. We got 13,000 of y'all in here now. Y'all think Adam Silver's gonna be under arrest? Oh, Lord. Now that would be something. Let's go ahead and get into it. So Adam Silver, with everything going on with the FBI and the NBA being under investigation for this entire gambling scandal, now Adam Silver, the commissioner of the FBI, or the commissioner of the NBA, excuse me, is being called to speak before a Senate hearing, to speak before Congress. And it's about to go down, guys. He's going to be on the hot seat. We're going to hear from him in an interview he recently did. And you can tell the NBA is scrambling as a result from this. I'm not mad about it as the NBA fan. I think we're going to see a different level of gameplay from some of the players. Some teams might be exposed, but let's hear what Yahoo Sports has to say. U.S. Congress has requested a briefing from Commissioner Adam Silver concerning the NBA gambling scandal, and it's going to be this Friday on Halloween. Oh my gosh, scary times for Adam Silver. We all know we will be reporting on it here. So recently, Adam Silver did a quick report and a quick interview with the reporter at one of the games and asked about what was going on with this gambling scandal. I want y'all to hear this, and we're going to get into an article and hear actually an interview he did with Pat McAfee. But shout out to Hater Report for this. He said they asked Adam Silver why Terry Rozier was allowed to keep playing after being accused of gambling. And the game he's talking about, we talked about in the past video, Terry Rozier was playing for the Charlotte Hornets back in 2023. Allegedly, Terry Rozier was going to be the starting point guard for that game. He told someone close to him or somebody he knew to bet the under. All right, he said, I'm going to go into the game and I'm going to fake an injury as soon as I get in. He goes into the game. 9 minutes into the game, he fakes an injury and he's up out of there. Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences, but I do believe in innocent till proven guilty. We'll have to see the proof. Adam Silver said, what happened? God, man, look at the commissioner. Hey, listen, hey, we just, hey, I don't know, man. Leave me alone. I'm not the FBI. It's not a great look. Hey, Terry, love you, brother. We had to let him go. We had to put him on leave, but I don't know. Adam Silver looking shook. I cannot wait to see this hearing before Congress. This man looks like he is totally just out of it. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's happening. This was a mistake. We never should have let gambling into the league like this. We're screwed. I've never seen a commissioner of the NBA act like this before. It's somewhat hilarious. All right. So what do we have with Congress requesting for the NBA commissioner to come before them and give them an update on what's going on, what the NBA's doing to investigate this? Congress requests briefing from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver on the gambling scandal. What do we have here? Members of Congress wrote to the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver on Friday asking him to provide a briefing by October 31st relating to the gambling scandal that engulfed the league earlier this week. Sent by a bipartisan group of 6 representatives on the House Committee on Energy and Commerce, the letter calls on Adam Silver to further explain the NBA's relationship with sports betting to assist the committee in its oversight. So that means there's probably more to come. The committee's intervention came the day after Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and Damon Jones were named among 34 people indicted in connection with 2 separate federal gambling investigations announced by the Eastern District of New York. Then the letter lists 5 points for Silver to address, asking him to explain further details about the alleged betting practices in connection with the NBA players, coaches, and officials, as well as action the league intends to take to limit inside information being used for illegal purposes. I mean, if you've got the coach and the players in on it, you can't take away the coaches and the players when it comes to the league. The coach has to have certain information. The player has to go out there and play. And if Terry Rozier says, feels my hamstring, feels a little bit tight, I gotta go sit down, what are you gonna do? People are betting on him standing up, and Terry Rozier makes the executive decision that I'm gonna sit this one out. Somebody's gonna lose some money. It's also asked Adam Silver to evaluate whether the league's current code of conduct for players and coaches effectively prohibits illegal activity. I don't know how you get rid of it. And outline whether and how the NBA is reevaluating the terms of its partnership with sports betting companies. The league has partnership deals with betting companies like DraftKings, FanDuel, all of them. As for more strictly policing sports betting, the committee asked Silver to identify any gaps in existing regulations that allow illegal betting schemes to occur. How are you going to do that? For example, it referenced Silver's appearance on the Pat McAfee show Tuesday, and we're going to get into that, in which he said, "I wish there was federal legislation rather than state by state," and added, "We've asked some of our partners to pull back some of their prop bets." Y'all are going to hear that here in a second. Silver, in his first public comments on the Scandal Friday, said he had a pit in his stomach when he heard the news. Yeah, right, like he was shocked. "My initial reaction was I was deeply disturbed," he told the broadcaster Amazon Prime Video during the Boston Celtics game against the New York Knicks. "There's nothing more important to the league than its fans than the integrity of the competition. It was very upsetting, and we can't do anything about it. There's too much money involved." The allegations, the committee noted, raise serious concerns about sports betting and the integrity of sports in the NBA, which harms fans and legal sports bettors, prompting it to assume its oversight role. Chauncey Billups, the Portland head coach since 2021, is charged in an elaborate mafia-linked scheme in which marked cards, I think they left out a word, were lured to participate in rigged poker games, in part with opportunity to play alongside the NBA five-time All-Star as well as Jones. Rozier, who was arrested in Orlando in a hotel, was alleged to participate in game-fixing schemes that included prop bets on his availability. Jones, Damon Jones, who retired from playing in 2012, is one of 3 people to be charged in both cases. Jim Trusty, Rozier's attorney, strongly disputes the accusation, saying prosecutors characterize Rozier as a subject to their investigation and not a target. An attorney for Chauncey Billups denied the allegations. Despite focusing on the latest allegations, the letter also noted that illegal sports betting based on a non-public information in NBA is not a new problem, and it's not going to go away. Citing the cases of former referee Tim Donaghy, we've heard about him in 2007, and Toronto Raptors player Jonte Porter in 2024. So let's see what Adam Silver had to say on Pat McAfee's show about this whole gambling situation.
Be more regulation, frankly. It may be surprising to hear from me. I wish there was federal legislation rather than state by state. I think you got to monitor the amount of promotion, the amount of advertising around it. And also, we've pulled back. You know, it's not completely in our control, but we've asked some of our partners to pull back some of the prop bets, especially when they're on two-way players, guys who don't have the same stake in the competition, where, you know, it's too easy to manipulate something which seems otherwise small and inconsequential to the overall score. Maybe, you know, the couple rebounds that some player, gets or whatever. So, you know, we're trying to put in place and learning as we go and working with the betting companies some additional controls to prevent sort of some of that manipulation.
It's going to be hard to fix.
Issues. One of the issues you see in arenas, and I hear from players and coaches on this, are fans. Oh, yeah. I mean, who are yelling out about, you know, especially when it's a prop bet. It's
my parlay! Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, but it's often the case that, you know, your team wins and a player scores, you know, 25 points, but the fan bettor had bet that the player was going to score 28 points or 30 points or whatever else. So, I would say one thing, we sent a memo out to our teams recently, and we made it clear in conversations with them that we want to see strict enforcement of those rules. I mean, we have to protect the competitors. You know, we want to protect the environment in the arena, the people getting out of hand. I mean, but as I said, we accept betting is legal in roughly 35 states now in the United States. It's unlikely to go away.
And Adam Silver seems like a guy, he's going to mention it here in a second, that just wants the federal government to step in so he can say, hey guys, hey, it's not my rules. I'm sorry. Y'all can't. It is what it is. Watch the NBA. We enjoy it. It makes more people watch because they can bet on it. What am I going to do? The FBI is regulating it. Sorry, guys. It's not my fault.
Getting rid of like kind of smaller, obscure bets. Like, hey, do we really need this to even be a potential distraction?
1.5 rebounds.
Or a potential setup. Like, I respect that you're trying to figure out and navigate this as it's happening in real time. Do you feel and you said you wanted it to be strict on the fans in the environments, very intimate, very, very intimate, the NBA. I mean, there's been a couple times where I felt like I was sitting on the bench, you know, and it's like, now granted, I loved it. I enjoyed being there. Let's go, boys. Let's kind of do our thing. Give me a microphone, maybe not. Let's not do that. Maybe I just sit here and talk to the group here. John Mellencamp's going to be pissed, but there is a very intimate relationship between the NBA and its fans. I think in the arenas, that's a part of the allure. I think. Hey, come watch these 6'8", 6'9" tall guys run back and forth, dunk it, bring the kids out. You'll even maybe get a high five as they're jogging through the thing. And on the flip side of that, when it's not a family or a little kid and somebody that's pissed off about the amount of turnovers you had, and instead we got to win, but should be happy and mean, I can see how that could get a little loud.
So this is going to be interesting to see how this goes down. We'll be here to look for the update from Adam Silver. Y'all know it's probably going to be filed here in the next couple days, with the 31st being on this coming Friday. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Is the NBA in trouble? Should the government just step in and control what type of bets can be placed? That way the players don't have such an impact and there's not the temptation there. I want to know what y'all think. Ooh, we got 15,000 of y'all up in this thing. Shout out to everybody that's in here, and thank you all for liking the video too. Make sure if you haven't yet, please like the video. Likes are free, guys. It helps out a lot. I'm going to keep begging for them as long as I'm on YouTube. We got Mr. Brown with another super chat. He says, sending love from vacation in Orlando, Florida. Tell Terry Rozier I said hi. Thank you, Mr. Brown, and enjoy your vacation, man. Hopefully you're having good weather out there. And I know Amy was saying this morning there might be a hurricane headed over that way too. So be safe out there, Mr. Brown. All right. Enjoy yourself. You deserve it. We've got, speaking of, Amy in here with the cake. Shout out to Amy with the cake. Sending in the super sticker, reminding me it is getting close to that time. It's always cake time over here though. And Amy's got it all. She got all the cake over there. Shout out to Amy. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. She does it all. And I did not mention this earlier. If y'all haven't yet, please make sure you go subscribe to Amy's channel. The link to her channel is in the description. Hopefully she'll drop it in the chat for y'all as well. Go over there, support her, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time that she drops a new video or premieres a new video as well, right? We were over there watching a premiere this morning, another absolutely insane, intense, crazy video. So y'all please go over there, support Amy. She does so much on this channel. There's so much on the channel that she runs as well. So shout out to Amy for doing it all and for reminding y'all to like the video as well. All right, let's talk about, we're going to get into Tyler Robinson in here in a minute. Let me see if I can find this. So we got to get another update about Charlie Kirk and what's going on with Tyler Robinson, because we're seeing some changes here come down, and I need to get some more cough deterrent before we get started. Because, man, y'all bear with me. Excuse me. I've been trying to beat this cough for a little while now, but we gonna push through. All right, Amy dropped the link. Y'all go and subscribe. Happy West Coast morning in here, CB family, says in blue. Sincerely, a 20-year Blazers fan. Oh, man, aren't many of those left. That's for sure. So let's go ahead and get into what's going on with this situation with Tyler Robinson and the Charlie Kirk assassination. As many of you may know, Tyler Robinson is being held and will face trial for the murder or the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, there's been some recent hearings we've had to go through, and he's trying to figure out how the court proceedings are going to go. They're going to hash out some more things, and we're going to actually get into the full hearing here. Nothing too crazy, but one thing that I want to point out is they're actually going to give Tyler a little bit of a win here when it comes to how he's going to be presented in court. So let's check this out, and then we'll get to the full hearing here in a second. Shout out to Eric over on X. He says, just now, judge allows Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson to wear normal clothing while in court. How do y'all feel about that? And bans cameras from recording Robinson entering or exiting the courtroom. They are just feeding the conspiracy theorists here. I might be one of those with this whole situation. Not allowed to record him entering or exiting the courtroom. He gets to wear regular clothes. As if we weren't biased enough, I think hearing this is not helping things, right? We know that Tyler Robinson's being held for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We know he's going to go to trial for a reason. Does this change much? Does it change much when it comes to the jury and how they're going to see him? I don't think so, but the judge's a professional. I'm going to let the judge do their job. The judge ruled Robinson must be restrained while in court. However, the judge must be swift. Get him in the chair. They said, oh, they're ready for Tyler to be done. Y'all check this out. Let's see what the judge had to say.
The court orders as follows. Defendant's motion to strike the sheriff's response is granted. Defendant's motion to appear in civilian clothing is granted.
Wow.
Defendant's motion to appear without restraints is denied. The standing decorum order will be amended to prohibit any visual recording or photography of the defendant's restraints or of the defendant entering or exiting the courtroom. This constitutes the order of the court, and a written order and ruling will be published shortly. Both defense and prosecution have stipulated to vacate the October 30th hearing. Additional time is needed to complete discovery and to file motions addressing whether non-evidentiary hearings should be conducted virtually, whether to impose any blanket restrictions on cameras in the courtroom, and any other motions that may arise. This matter is set. The court.
Now, the thing that upsets me about this, and I think you all will feel the same way, is the judge said he might not allow cameras in the courtroom. If that happens, I'm not going to be happy about this at all. I think they should allow the cameras in the courtroom. I don't understand why there wouldn't be cameras in the courtroom. The jury's not going to be listening to it. And this is something that happened on a national and somewhat international level. We want to know the outcomes. Not a federal case. Let them in. We were just bragging and talking about and being thankful for how lenient the state of Utah is in allowing cameras into the courtroom. Shouldn't be limited. I don't think it will be. Let me know what y'all think. All right. So let's hear from Tyler Robinson's attorney, see what they have to say about this.
I have this defense motion here. You turn to page 14. This is their argument. They say September 16th, when he appeared in that jail attire, in that WebEx proceeding, they said it was covered by ABC, CBS, NBC, Newsweek, NPR, Daily Mail, Fox News, CNN, countless others. 18,000 new search results, they say. His attorneys say Robinson in jail garb, shackles, and a suicide vest will undoubtedly be viewed by prospective jurors and will inevitably lead these jurors to the perception that he is guilty. Inevitably. So if he's not in civilian attire, he will inevitably be let go, is the argument. Okay, let's talk about that. I don't think your problem is his outfit. Wow. I don't think your problem is his garb. I think your problem is the evidence. What we know of the evidence, and this is just what we know, they have DNA evidence on the towel that the gun was wrapped in, on the screwdriver, the rifle's trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, and 2 of the 3 unused cartridges. All that DNA evidence they have to get past. Then you move to him texting his roommate saying, look underneath the keyboard. His roommate lover. Underneath the keyboard was a note. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk. I'm going to take it. Got to get past the note. Get past the note, get past the DNA evidence. Then you got to get past the text. Why? Lover says. Why did I do it? Robinson replied. Yeah, replies Lover. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hatred cannot be negotiated out. Get past the text messages. Oh, wait, there's more. You have the testimony, likely, of his parents, where he implied, this is according to the county attorney, he was the shooter, stated he couldn't go to jail, wanted it to end, and said that there's too much evil from this guy replying.
And he said that he didn't want to get shot either. Y'all remember that? He's like, I got to turn myself in. I don't want to be shot.
Referring to Charlie Kirk. You got to get past all that. The outfit is a footnote. You got to get past the evidence.
Look, where you started, and I looked around the couch, and I could see all your faces. They've got a media problem? No, it's not us.
Yeah.
It's him.
That sounded like a closing statement from a prosecutor, what we just heard from Kaylee.
Yeah, that's only what we know.
Right,
That's only what we know.
That's the magnitude of the evidence against this person.
Yeah, it's not looking great for Tyler. Is it going to make a difference? We'll have to see. Let's see what the judge had to say during this hearing.
Mr. Richard Novak and Stacy Visser on behalf of Mr. Robinson.
Got your work cut out for you.
Welcome to both the prosecution and defense. Mr. Robinson, I understand, is appearing by WebEx. Mr. Robinson, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you all. We're here on the Tyler James Robinson motion to appear in civilian clothing and without physical restraints at all pretrial hearings. Because of some of the arguments involved in court security protocols, the court held a closed hearing on October 24th, 2025.
Of course.
During that hearing, the parties addressed several related matters. The first, Mr. Robinson's motion to strike the sheriff's response. The second, Mr. Robinson's motion to appear in civilian clothing and without physical restraints. The third, the sheriff's and Mr. Robinson's request to limit or exclude visual recording and photography in the courtroom. And finally, the fourth matter, the state's request to have all non-evidentiary hearings held remotely. The parties have stipulated that the state's request to hold non-evidentiary hearings virtually, as well as the parties' joint request to limit electronic media coverage, both require further briefing. Those issues are not yet ready for the court's decision. To facilitate that briefing, the court directs as follows. If the state wishes to have all non-evidentiary hearings conducted via WebEx, it must file a separate motion. The court will not rely on prior briefing. The standard timelines for response and reply apply, and the parties must file a request to submit and request a hearing if desired. If the parties seek to limit or restrict electronic media coverage, they may file a joint motion. Again, the court will not rely on prior briefing. That motion must address the factors set forth in Rule 4-401.01 Sub 2 of the Utah Rules of Judicial Administration. Standard response and reply times apply, and the parties must file a request to submit once the matter is ripe for decision. The court took under advisement two issues, the motion to strike and the motion to appear in civilian clothing and without restraints. Court now issues its ruling. In regards to the motion to strike the sheriff's response, the prosecution and the sheriff's department filed a joint opposition to the defendant's motion to appear in civilian clothing and without restraints. Mr. Robinson moved to strike the sheriff's portion of that filing, arguing it was procedurally improper because the sheriff is not a party. At the hearing, all agreed that the sheriff's department is not a party in this case. The state and the sheriff's office nevertheless argued that the sheriff may file memoranda as a non-party. Mr. Robinson disagreed, but did not object to the court considering the sheriff's position on security. The court finds that the sheriff's department is not a party to this case, and therefore its joint filing with the prosecution was procedurally improper. Accordingly, defendant's motion to strike the sheriff's response is granted.
Wow.
However, under Rule 3-414 of the Utah Rules of Judicial Administration, the court is required to coordinate courtroom security with the sheriff's department. Consistent with that rule and with the defendant's agreement, the court has considered the substance of the state's opposition and the memorandum prepared by the court security director that was attached to it. Going forward, if either party has a security concern specific to this case, they may present evidence from the sheriff's department by affidavit, declaration, exhibit, or testimony. This order does not limit the sheriff's department's ability to coordinate with the court or otherwise act as authorized by law. Turning to the motion to appear in civilian clothing and without physical restraints. The parties agree that during trial, a defendant has a right to appear in civilian clothing and that any restraints must be concealed from the jury.
Wow.
Mr. Robinson now seeks to extend those rights to all pretrial proceedings. The court considered each request separately. In relation to request to appear in civilian clothing, Mr. Robinson asks to appear in civilian clothing at all pretrial hearings. He argues that the extensive media coverage of this case creates a real risk of prejudice if the public and potential jurors repeatedly see him in jail attire.
Do y'all think that's true? Do you guys agree with that? I want to know in the comments and in the chat.
The state, the sheriff's department, and the court security director opposed the request, arguing that jail clothing assists with safety and identification. The court has balanced these competing concerns. The case has attracted extraordinary public and media attention.
Yeah,
Images
no
of Mr. Robinson in jail clothing are likely to circulate widely and influence prospective jurors. Given the scale of that publicity, the risk of prejudice is significant.
Here we go.
However, Mr. Robinson's, let me see here. As previously stated, Mr. Robinson sits before this court presumed innocent, and that presumption remains unless and until each element of every offense charged against him is proved beyond a reasonable doubt. To date, this has not occurred, and the presumption of innocence remains. Balancing these factors, the court finds that Mr. Robinson's right to the presumption of innocence outweighs the minimal inconvenience of permitting civilian attire, and Mr. Robinson shall be dressed as one who is presumed innocent.
Wow.
Accordingly, the defendant's request to appear in civilian clothing for all pretrial proceedings is granted. Defense counsel is directed to coordinate with the jail to ensure that this order is implemented, and the court further orders that if the clothing be provided 72 hours prior to any hearing. To the second request to appear without physical restraints, Mr. Robinson also requests to appear unrestrained during pretrial proceedings. He argues that visible restraints would prejudice potential jurors, undermine his dignity, and interfere with his ability to communicate with counsel. Rule 3-14 sub 9C of the Utah Rules of Judicial Administration requires that all in-custody defendants be restrained unless otherwise ordered by the court. The court recognizes that Mr. Robinson has no criminal history and no record of misconduct while in custody. However, the charges he faces are extraordinarily serious, carrying potential penalties of life imprisonment or death. The safety of Mr. Robinson, the attorneys, court staff, and the public must remain the court's highest priority. The emotional nature of these proceedings also raise the risk of disruption. Given these factors, the defendant's request to appear without restraints is denied. The court directs the sheriff's department to conduct an individualized assessment and use the least restrictive restraints necessary to maintain safety. If those restraints impede the defendant's ability to communicate with counsel or take notes, counsel may renew the motion.
What does he need
I wish
to take
now
notes
to
for?
also address the decorum and media restrictions. To mitigate any potential prejudice, the court will amend its standing decorum order. The media will be prohibited from photographing or visually recording Mr. Robinson's restraints and from photographing or recording him while entering, exiting, or standing in the courtroom. In making this amendment, the court has considered the factors in Rule 4-401.01 sub 2. This is a high-profile case with strong public interest.
Yeah, you better,
restricting the
don't do it,
recording
Judge.
of restraints strikes the proper balance between Mr. Robinson's right to a fair proceeding and the public's right to access and transparency. In conclusion, the court orders as follows. Defendant's motion to strike the sheriff's response is granted. Defendant's motion to appear in civilian clothing is granted. Defendant's motion to appear without restraints is denied.
Nope.
The standing decorum order will be amended to prohibit any visual recording or photography of the defendant's restraints or of the defendant entering or exiting the courtroom. This constitutes the order of the court, and
Somebody's
a
gonna
written
get it,
order
though.
and ruling will be published shortly. Both defense and prosecution have stipulated to vacate the October 30th hearing. Additional time is needed to complete discovery and to file motions addressing whether non-evidentiary hearings should be conducted virtually, whether to impose any blanket restrictions on cameras in the courtroom, and any other motions that may arise. This matter is set to return before the court on January 16th, 2026 at 1 p.m., and again on January 30th, 2026 at 1 p.m. Both hearings will be heard and held in person with Mr. Robinson present to address these issues. And that concludes the order of this court. Counsel, thank you for being here. Mr. Robinson, we'll see you on January 16th and January 30th at 1 p.m.
There it is. Shout out to the judge, man. He sounds like he should be an actor. He sounds like a judge that's playing a judge. That's how good he is. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Tyler Robinson going to trial. Are we going to make it there? We got at least a couple of months before we get to see Tyler Robinson in court. We'll have to see what happens. I want to know what y'all think about this. If they don't let cameras in there, I'm not going to be happy, especially considering it's Utah. They have one of the most lax camera in court policies in the nation. So we should be good to go. Hopefully there's no funny business. We'll see what y'all think in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Prayers go out for Jamaica, man. Amy said, Jamaica me nervous. We got 14,000 of you in here, and we're going to keep rolling. We still have a lot of topics to get into today. Jamaica me nervous. I don't personally think it will matter, but the judge has to be reasonable as possible for appeal purposes. I agree. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I think Tyler Robinson is cooked. I'm getting ready to start my turkey wings, so they will be nice and tender to eat tonight for dinner because I don't eat pork. Because shout out to you. Good job. We do not. Amy said it. We don't eat pork either. No, heck nah. Y'all better stop that. Bacon's not worth it. Shout out to Mr. Brown. Taking care of his body. You get one. You only get one. Take care of it, man. All right, let's get into this next subject. We got to talk about, are we going to get into Candace Owens? Oh, look at this, man. The OGs of OGs. Henry Resilient is in here. My guy. 14,000 in the chat. You know what's up. He says 14,000 in the chat. Let's go. Like the stream. Keep grinding, ClassE. Salute. Shout out to Henry Resilient. Has been a member for 31 months. Henry Resilient was the first ever member on this channel. And that's special in and of itself. But Henry Resilient actually had so much of an impact into everything we do here. Our growth from 16,000 last year subscribers to now at 134,000 plus. From the structure of the show, the topics of the show, Henry Resilient has such a major part in everything that we do here. That man's busy. He be out there working, so y'all don't see him often, but when he stops by, I got to give him his props, show him some love. That's my guy. I appreciate you. Thank you, Henry Resilient, for everything. And y'all go show him some love too. The links to Henry's channel are in the description. Y'all go subscribe. Check out the Henry Resilient Clips channel. He's out there doing it, man. 31 months is crazy. And see, if you see so many changes have taken place in the last year, Henry Resilient has been here longer than that. And he stuck through and he kept telling me, you gotta make changes. You gotta update. You need to go this direction. You can do it. It's gonna be worth it. And I was like, yeah, Henry, I don't know, man. I don't want to do it. And he stuck with me, man. He's still in here. Shout out to Henry Resilient. No, we posted the link. He said, don't post it. We gotta post it now. Henry, you know me well enough to know that you say don't post it, we gotta post it. So thank you, Amy. Amy's got my back. Y'all go check out the Henry Resilient Clips channel. That's my guy, man. Amy knows what type of time we on. He said, you came so far. Hey, you gave so much guidance and so much insight, Henry. Thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. So every time I see you in here, you know I'm gonna show you some love. All right, let's keep it moving and get into this next topic, which we're going to talk about Candace Owens. Candace Owens is finally back. Thank God Candace is back. Yeah, Amy knows. She over there laughing. She knows. You say don't do it, we got to do it. You say don't do it, we got to do it. Oh, man. Thank you, Amy, for that. All right, let's get into it. Thank God Candace is back. I needed some more Candace Owens content because y'all love hearing about Candace Owens, and she always has some great insight, great receipts. So glad to see Candace back after a short vacation. I'm sure she needed it because the heat was crazy. We're going to be talking about Charlie Kirk. We got some new video footage, some wild video footage Candace is going to be telling us about, giving us a background on where this footage came from and other people that may have been involved in this situation with Charlie Kirk's assassination. All right, check it out. I'll leave a link to the full live stream so you guys can watch it on your own. We're not going to play the full thing here because I want y'all to go over and support Candace and what she's doing. Okay, so check this out. Candace Owens on some inside information. Let's go.
So let's take a look at this. It's a video of course, Pastor Rob McCoy's son. His name is Mike McCoy. And you're going to see what he does, not in the seconds following Charlie getting shot, but in less than 1 second after Charlie gets shot. These are not seconds, less than 1 second. You're going to watch what Michael McCoy does. First, let's hear his daddy's version of the events. Take it away, Pastor McCoy.
As a father, I want to protect my son. And I thought, I got a plan for you, son. He said, Dad, that's not Charlie's plan. And you know what? I'm looking at my son who's 24 years old. Justin's the CFO, chief financial officer, and Mikey's the chief of staff. And I'm watching, the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray. I said, okay, son. He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him. And
wow.
2 things I want you to remember here. You may have caught that, but he said, I was watching. And the minute Charlie got shot, he called, and Mikey McCoy says to his dad, Charlie's been shot, pray for him. He says the minute, maybe he's being a little hyperbolic. We're going to find out. I'd certainly like to find out. But he stops himself. He says, I was watching. Watching what exactly? What were you watching? I want to remember that. It's rubbing me the wrong way. And I'm going to tell you why that's rubbing me the wrong way in a little bit. But the bigger thing is that he says Mikey had blood all over him. Except Mikey did not have blood anywhere near him because Mikey was behind the tent when Charlie got shot. And Mikey, in less than a second, does something that I find to be quite strange. He puts his phone to his ear and he begins a conversation. So we're going to watch that clip in its entirety. Mark is going to bring it in. So we decided to slow this clip down, and we're going to watch this clip slow down so you can see.
This is kind of weird. Yo, this is super weird. Hold on a second. I didn't catch this. Shout out to Candace. Was he in that much of a shock that quickly? He just gets on the phone and walks away? Everybody else is running. This dude's on the phone and walking. I was going to say, Candace, I think she might be tripping on this one. This is weird.
So we decided to slow this clip down, and we're going to watch this clip slow down so you can see that it is exactly 834 milliseconds from the time that you hear the shot. That is how long it takes for Mikey McCoy to put the phone to his ear. Now, why is that precise timing so important? Because there's no dialing. Mikey didn't have time to dial, okay? You can't dial and put your phone to an ear in 0.834 seconds. The next time that you're going to see Mikey McCoy, as we just showed you, is in just under 2.5 seconds on the other side of the tent. He's on a phone call. So we can track Mikey, but let's watch the clip again in milliseconds so you really grasp how quickly this transpires. So when this clip was brought, there we go, we're tracking that.
And
when the clip was brought to
away.
my attention, I obviously have a file, a big folder of files of every angle, and I decided to track Mikey from every angle available to see, maybe we just missed it, and he did at some point put that phone down, dial a number, speed dial, hold down one, I don't know. Maybe we missed it, because that seems automatic, right? 0.834, that
weird.
seems pretty quick. And no, he doesn't do that. We even have him in front of Charlie's car. When Charlie is brought to the car, the waiting car rather, he is still on the phone. I can show you the clip of that. Take a look at this. Don't worry, we'll slow it down for you. See him in the background with the backpack.
Where's he going?
Mickey McCoy. Okay. So what are we to make of that?
I mean, either this guy has the most severe case of flight I've ever seen, or this is weird. Nobody hears gunshots, doesn't duck down, doesn't get on the ground, doesn't run away. This guy, man, that's super, super weird.
The only logical conclusion that I can come up with, and many others, because I've pressed, I said play devil's advocate. I want you to advocate for
I've never
Mikey
seen anything
McCoy,
like that.
I want you to play lawyer, and you are representing your client, Mikey McCoy. What was he do? How did he do it this quickly? No one could win this game. The only logical conclusion that we come up with was that Mikey was already on a phone call at 12:23 p.m. By 12:23 p.m., he was already on a phone call. So I said, let's go back a little earlier in the footage and see if we can find when he actually maybe dials onto the phone. Maybe we can see him pick up the phone and begin a call before the shot takes off. And then after beginning that call, if we're following this logic, that would mean he puts his phone down until Charlie gets shot. And we were able to find what we think could be that moment. And I can tell you that it is 1 minute and 45 seconds approximately before that shot goes off. And we can watch that here. You see Mikey's on his phone here, and you're going to see he pulls it up and he starts to cover his ear again. Now, that could be unrelated. Again, we're taking a guess here. That's what made the most sense to us because we couldn't justify it in any other way. And I want to be clear, we're not here to make assumptions, okay? And we wouldn't have to make any assumptions if Turning Point USA could just tell the truth. They could just be open and they could be honest about everything. Okay, I obviously went out to both Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvett for a statement, asked those two questions. Hey, who were you on the phone with? What's going on here? No response. Weird. Because if that was me and I saw clips going viral and people were drawing conclusions from that clip, thinking that I was already on the phone, thinking that my reaction was weird, I would instantly hit back. I'd say, here's my call log. You want to know who I was on the phone with? 911, obviously.
Maybe he was calling his side chick. I don't know. Who knows? Hey, give him a break, man. Candace, you know, people be having kind of stuff going on. Maybe he doesn't want his wife to find out. I don't know.
Here's my call log. You want to know who I was on the phone with? 911, obviously. I was freaking out. I called 911. I didn't know what I was doing. Here's my phone. Here's my whole call log for that day. But this is, I don't know. I guess we live in a world where that doesn't make sense. I would have issued a statement to dispel any rumors, but they have not. Here's what I want to say, and I honestly understand I'm preaching to the choir here. Everything about this is wrong. You know it, and I know it. But I actually know it better than most because I helped build that organization. And that's why I am almost the perfect person to discern what is normal and what is abnormal in terms of what happened at that college campus event. In fact, when I did my tribute to Charlie, this is unbelievable. Remember, just after he died, I posted a video to my friend Charlie Kirk, and I shared a clip of him at a college event, and he and I were laughing, and I'm going to show you that clip in a second. And I said, I don't even know which college this is when I showed the clip because I didn't know what college it was. And unbelievably, it was UVU. I kid you not. Let's rewatch that clip.
If you aren't wealthy, white, and male, Charlie Kirk is not your friend. What do you think?
Are you not my friend anymore?
Are we not friends?
Is
that right?
Find out. It's not going to find out. A sign outside of a thing in an event that we just did, and you're not my friend.
Go figure.
That's unbelievable that of all the clips we picked that, and I had no idea it was UVU. The point is that I hit college campuses with Charlie Kirk for 6 years. I don't believe that there is a single living, breathing person who has spoken at more college campuses alongside Charlie Kirk than me. So I knew that things were weird when I saw first and foremost, the camera guy, the one who takes down the camera, seeing him lingering alongside Charlie at the event flagged me as weird immediately. Okay? That's why I reached out when people saw him taking down the camera. I said, what is this? Why are you here? Literally, why are you standing next to Charlie? I've never at any college event ever in 6 years had that man standing next to me at an event, okay? Sometimes he wasn't even there. Other times, of course, when you are in AV, your job is to be somewhere quiet. Your job is to have on like headphones to make sure the audio is good. Maybe the idea that they're miking, the person running a company is miking you up is completely absurd. I didn't like it. It felt new to me. And you know what? When I called him, things got pretty weird. He acknowledged that a lot of new stuff was happening on that day. And I inquired to him immediately about the subtle changes that I recognized. And the thing that struck me as wrong was that he lied to me. I don't know why he was lying to me, but a lot of the things that he said didn't make sense. And
all right, well, I'm going to let y'all finish watching this over on Candace's channel. I will leave a link in the description to this very, very, very strange situation. I look at this video and it seems like there were a lot of moving parts. Looking at things in real time, we don't know what happened, right? We don't know what was going through people's mind. The guy could have seen Charlie Kirk got shot right in front of him. He was very close to the situation. could have been immediately in shock, seeing the loss of blood, seeing it be Charlie Kirk, put the phone to his ear and walked off like, I'm uncomfortable. It's possible. Is it strange? Very, very, very strange indeed. We'll have to see if there's something there. You know, Candace is going to keep bringing the receipts, going to keep pushing, going to keep pressuring people to come forward, come to the front and give the truth. And as she said, it would just be easier if we would hear a statement or tell what went on. We get this an ongoing FBI investigation, but can you just give us an idea of what's happening? Because people want the truth. A lot of this isn't making sense. Let me know what y'all think in the comments in the chat. Make sure y'all go support Candace and check out the full live stream. I'll leave a link in the description. Strange times, man. Candace she's not backing down at all. And I'm here for it. Y'all know we're going to be here to support too. Shout out to my guy, Henry Resilient Man in here. 31 months. Sheesh. Shout out to Samson in the building. Good to see you. Make sure you tell Ray I said he's such a good boy. Always good to see you in here. It's getting weird. It is getting super, super weird. But that's nothing new. Especially with this Charlie Kirk situation. I mean, so many questions have gone unanswered. And I feel like we won't find out the truth for a very, very, very long time. But we're going to keep looking for it. We're going to keep talking about it. And maybe something will come out. Let's get back to this Julio Fulio trial. Where is Julio? I thought I had a picture of him. We'll just get a picture of Alicia. Alicia Andrews is back at it. We're going to get into some of this Julio Fulio trial today because y'all have been loving the content. Shout out to everybody who's been checking out our coverage in the Julio Fulio trial. Part 1 out of 5. Can y'all believe this is we're going to have 5 parts to this? Absolutely insane. So let me double check and make sure we're good. We're back in court here with Alicia Andrews for day 5. We're going to get into some very important information about what happened during this incident where Julio Fulio lost his life, was murdered, shot, gunned down, and Alicia Andrews' involvement in that, her alleged involvement. So we're going to hear from this gentleman who's going to testify and help us make some connections about what went on leading up to and during the birthday celebration, and maybe show us something that points directly to Alicia Andrews. Let's go ahead and get into the coverage. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments in the chat.
State, who's your next witness? Detective Christopher Travick.
There's Alicia Andrews right there rocking the, what is that, teal? All right, that's not teal. It's like a lime green almost. I don't know what you got going on.
You, sir, are affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you, sir. Okay, you may proceed. Good afternoon, sir. Please state your full name for the jury.
My name is Chris Drebeck.
And where are you employed?
I work for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
Are you also a member of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office gang unit?
I am.
How long have you been employed with JSO?
Going on 9 years, since May of 2017.
Shout out to JSO.
And are you also assigned a specific gang or gangs in the unit?
Yes.
Who are you assigned?
I'm currently assigned a criminal gang called 21st Street and another criminal gang called Rack Chasing Family.
So not any of the ATK, 1200 or 6 Block gangs that were referenced specifically in this case?
No.
Are you familiar with those gangs?
Yes.
Do you work alongside the detectives who are specifically assigned to those gangs?
I do.
And were you familiar enough with those gangs and in your workings with those detectives to create the charts that we previously admitted as State's Exhibit 89 in this case for the gangs?
Yes, we facilitated the charts together.
Did you maintain a relationship with the lead detective from the homicide investigation from Tampa?
I did.
And was that Juan Ramos?
Yes, ma'am.
From what
Shout out
point
to
at
Juan.
learning about the death of Charles Jones did you begin working with the Tampa Police Department?
The morning they called me on June 23rd.
And what was the nature of that call?
So originally my supervisor reached out to me because he was notified first, and my sergeant provided me with information of contact info for a Tampa Police Department detective. And I reached out to that detective, and they supplied us with information relating to the death of Charles Jones. And they were inquiring about why this may have occurred.
Did you have any knowledge that Charles Jones was going to be in the Tampa area before you received a call about his death?
Yes, we did observe posts on his social media where he was advertising his trip down to Tampa prior to him going in reference to him celebrating his birthday.
How do some of these rappers or even gang members actually tell people about their events or their appearances?
They advertise it.
Social media.
And in this particular case, did you have an opportunity to see some flyers that were posted to Mr. Charles Jones' account?
I did.
What is the screen name for the account itself? Did he use his legal name or the moniker of Julio Julio?
He used his rap name, Julio Julio.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 95B, 1 through 10, and 95C, 1 through 4.
Okay.
Did you have an opportunity to view Charles Jones's Julio Julio Instagram account in advance of him coming down to Tampa?
Yes, I routinely would monitor Julio Julio's Instagram account prior to this.
Even though he was not one of your assigned gang members, you would be monitoring his account?
Yes.
Why is that?
Just,
They were
I think it's
connected.
imperative for detectives assigned to the gang unit to have information and knowledge about gangs, especially a person as prominent as Julio Julio was. Even though I'm not assigned the 6 Block gang, it is important to have working knowledge outside of my assigned gang, so I am able to assist in the event that I was called upon, for example, this instance. So.
And in this particular case, after you were notified of the death of Charles Jones, did you have an opportunity to visit his Instagram page as well?
Yes.
And
We got
is what was
another
depicted in
Viverito.
States 95B indicative of the recordings or screenshots that were taken from that account after the homicide?
Yes,
Was Mr. Charles Jones's Instagram account public?
it was.
So you were able to access it by just searching the name, essentially.
Yes, sir.
At this time, Your Honor, the state seeks to admit States Exhibit 95B and 95C.
Any objection? Okay, 95B and 95C are admitted.
Shouldn't be.
As it relates to the flyers that went out for Mr. Jones' birthday, I'm showing you 95C. Is this the flyer that you mentioned was posted that notified you, at least, that there was going to be some kind of club appearance in the Tampa area?
Yes.
Do you recall
We've seen
when
that
this post
before,
made
too.
it to social media?
I know sometime prior to June 23rd, I believe it was a week or so before.
And did you have an opportunity to see from the flyers at least the location, exact location of where Mr. Jones was expected to appear?
He's advertising the club teasers.
Was the information that you had regarding 6 Block members being in Tampa only limited to Mr. Jones, or did you receive information that additional members would also be present at that time on June 22nd?
There was an additional post that he had made in reference to his travels down to Tampa, and we did see another person in that post, and it was Robert Howard.
Showing you C2. Is this the post that you're talking about?
Yes, the gentleman on the right with the yellow hoodie, that's Robert Howard. He goes by the nickname Kenny Caps. He's a 6 Block gang member.
And you have this knowledge in advance of
Jonathan
the
Kenny.
actual trip down to Tampa, is that right?
Yes.
Now, both of the appearances that were annotated in the post that he was giving, did you provide any information that you can recall about rivals or about his arrival to Tampa?
I did not communicate with Tampa prior to this.
In your review of the Julio Julio Instagram account after the homicide, is this when you first looked to the account what you would see in opening it?
Yes.
And were you able to actually look back to view in B2 here additional posts that were made by Mr. Jones?
Yes, he had quite a few posts.
Was there one post in particular that became relevant to your case or investigation?
Yes.
And can you show us which post that is that's depicted in this?
Starting from the top, at the top in the middle, you have the teasers flyer that he had posted. If you go one post below that, so directly in the middle, it's a image of his face. That's an Instagram reel he posted.
What's an Instagram reel, if you can describe that for the jury, please?
It's a video posted on his Instagram account. But
What's
more
an
specifically,
Instagram
this
reel, for
appears
real?
to be a shared Instagram reel that was originally posted on a separate social media application called Triller. And Triller is similar to TikTok. It's just videos.
Did Triller
As a
ever
part
catch
of your
on?
review of this account, were you able to actually click on that reel itself?
Yes.
What information does the reel give you when you actually select it or click on it? Like, what information are you provided? Is there a caption? Is there likes? What do you see when you get to access these?
So when you click on the post, you obviously watch the video, and then just below it there is a caption notated by the user of the account, who is Julio Fulio, and that caption reads, "They thought I checked out that last time. We don't celebrate foot shots," with some emojis.
Are you
It's
familiar
basically
with
taunting them.
the earlier attempt on Charles Jones's life from October of 2023?
Yes.
What was the injury that Mr. Jones suffered as a result of that incident?
In October of 2023, Charles Jones was shot in the foot during an attempted murder on his life.
As it relates to this particular investigation, did your involvement also include the impounding of a device related to Alicia Andrews?
There was a cell phone device seized from her, yes.
Did you have an opportunity to review some of the contents of that device upon its impound and extraction?
I did conduct what I would describe as a preliminary review of the cell phone device.
Michael Cox
So it wasn't,
was
I would
confronted
suggest
about-
it was a full review of the download, but I did look at it.
Does the Sheriff's Office also have digital
what?
forensics analysts that will actually help to go through that data with you or for you?
We do, yes.
And did those individuals provide you tips or information about items of potential evidentiary value that can be found on these devices?
Yes.
Showing you what his
Uh-oh, hold on a second. There we go.
showing you what has been marked for identification as 76B5 through 7. Do you recognize these extractions from that device?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, at this time, the state seeks to admit states 76B5 through B7.
Any objection? As to which one? It's 5 through 7.
Gonna need a sidebar.
6. Okay, come on up.
Yep, there goes this. There goes the sidebar. Let's skip ahead through this.
So 76B 5 through 7 will be admitted.
In publishing 76B5, was there a screenshot from the post that was referred to on the reel from Charles Jones's Instagram account retrieved from that device?
Yes.
And this is the device that was identified to the defendant, Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
And did you have an opportunity to review the actual original post from State's 95C?
And Ms. Ismer, I'm sorry for the record, what exhibit did you just show this witness?
This is 76B5.
Oh, this is not good.
Did you have an opportunity to review both the images that were retrieved from Mr. Jones's social media account, meaning the reel that was posted to his account, against the screenshot that was retrieved from Ms. Andrews' device?
Yes.
This is bad, y'all. So basically, Alicia Andrews had screenshots of Julio Fulio's video, that specific video of him saying, y'all tried to get me, but you missed. You only got my foot. This is not, they ain't great.
And did you have an opportunity to compare them against each other?
Yes.
In viewing 95C previously admitted and 76B5, were these images accurately retrieved, the items on the left from Mr. Jones's Instagram and the item on the right from Ms. Andrews' phone?
Dang.
Yes.
Was the content as it relates to Ms. Andrews' device limited to the 2 days that you had, or that device had been active?
Yes.
And were you able to ascertain the device setup date for that new device?
I believe it was June 26th.
On June 27th, did you seize that device from Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Dang.
Were there additional items of potential evidentiary value retrieved from that device from Ms. Andrews?
Yes, ma'am.
Elisa's over there writing. Girl, listen, you got a lot of explaining to do. You better be over there writing the letter saying how you're going to explain this, because this is not a great look at all.
In 76B6, were you able to identify the individuals depicted in this image saved from that same device?
Yes, I do.
And who is the individual depicted to the left?
That is a gentleman named Xavier Harrison. He is a ATK gang member who goes by the nickname Fat Zay.
And who is the individual, if you know, identified to the right?
That is a gentleman named Torgon Williams, and he is also an ATK gang member, and he goes by the nickname ATK Red Dot.
It's a lot of ATK.
Has ATK Red Dot been referenced or mentioned in some of the social media videos that were drill raps or disses posted by 6 Block?
He has been referenced in music historically, yes.
Lastly, it states 76B7. Do you recognize any of the individuals depicted in this image from the extraction?
I do. The gentleman on the left is a guy named Gerard Adams. He goes by the nickname Spaz, and he is associated with the 1200 group gang.
Is Spaz also related to any of the other co-defendants in this particular case?
Spaz he's deceased now. He was murdered, I believe, back in 2018. But he is related to Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy.
Did you have an opportunity to see and interview Davion Murphy?
I did.
And are you familiar with how he looks?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen a photograph from the arrest of Davion Murphy?
I have.
And have you had an opportunity to review the Ring camera footage from the Airbnb in Tampa?
Tampa did share videos with us recovered from the Airbnb. I did review them, yes.
I'm showing you states 38A and B as well as 90C. Do you recognize those images?
I do.
And do they fairly and accurately represent the individual that you know to be Davion Murphy?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, state seeks to admit states 38A and B as well as 90C.
Any objection? Okay, admitted. You said 38A through B and then
90C.
Okay, thank you.
All right, seeing your initial thoughts, seeing this piece of information. Phone was activated. They got it from her, and this is what she had on here. Coincidence? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments in the chat, because this is a crazy, crazy piece of evidence and a crazy look for Alicia Andrews. She's going to have to explain. A lot of explaining to do. Let's keep going and see what else they have on Alicia Andrews, how they're going to be able to connect this back to Julio Fulio. Yikes.
Admitted as well.
Publishing 90C, sir, is this the image that you were referring to when you mentioned the arrest photo?
Yes,
And sometime after Mr. Murphy's arrest, did you have an opportunity to interview him?
I did. I interviewed him shortly after this picture.
And was that interview audio and video recorded?
Yes.
We've seen some images from an interrogation room with Mr. Murphy here. Was Mr. Murphy captured making any kind of hand signs during the course of that interview or thereafter?
He does throw up what's recognized as the 1200 hand gang sign.
Are you familiar with Rashad Murphy?
Yes.
And does Rashad Murphy have any nickname that you are aware of?
He goes by the nickname Ghost.
During the course of your investigation, do you have contact with Detective Ramos and agree to assist by writing several search warrants?
I did assist by drafting quite a few search warrants.
Did your involvement in this case actually begin on the day of the homicide with the assistance that you provided to Tampa?
Yes.
When you saw or received the notification that Mr. Jones had died, did you do any follow-up work in reviewing the social media accounts of members of 1200 or ATK?
Yes.
And after it was relayed to you that Mr. Jones had died, were there members of both groups taking responsibility for this homicide?
They were doing what we commonly see when a prominent gang member is murdered. They were trolling on social media by posting laughing emojis and other related celebratory posts.
So when you are actually notified, is that by Detective DeJesus from the Tampa Police Department?
Yes.
In starting with your involvement, did you have any information about a possible suspect vehicle?
They did share with us at some point early on that there was potentially a black Chevrolet Impala involved.
And in that initial call, were you able to relay any information about potential leads from incidents that you had investigated or seen on social media in the weeks leading up to the homicide?
Yes.
What information was it that you were able to obtain in your day-to-day duties related to the homicide or leading up to it?
During the conversation I was having in the first day that they were reaching out to us, I did share with that detective that I had screen recorded a conversation that Julio Fulio was having approximately 2 weeks prior with another person named Isaiah Chance on Spaces, which is formerly known as Twitter. It's an open chat room where people can enter and speak to each other.
It's crazy.
Is it a video of the person speaking when you're in Spaces, or do you just hear voices?
It's just their voice. So they log into Spaces, which is previously Twitter. They'll log in with their account and join these open chat rooms and just communicate. So you're only hearing their voice as they talk to each other.
Wow.
Did you actually document that Spaces communication between Isaiah Chance and Charles Jones?
I screen recorded it and preserved it, yes.
It probably wasn't
And
good.
would that have been on June 6th of 2024?
Yes, it would have.
Without telling me the contents of it, were you ultimately made aware of a communication between Sean Gathright and Rashad Murphy on the same date regarding the Spaces conversation?
I was made aware of that, yes.
In the hours after Charles Jones's death, did you see posts made to social media by Isaiah Chance?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the handle associated to Isaiah Chance's Instagram account?
Yes, it's Gutazay with a bunch of G's.
And do you know the social media handle for Rashad Murphy?
Yes, it was Ghost187.
Have you, in your review of Isaiah Chance's Instagram account previously or since this homicide, documented any interaction on social media between Isaiah Chance and Rashad Murphy?
Can you ask that again?
Yes. Was there a social media post to Isaiah Chance's Instagram account tagging Rashad Murphy?
Yes, there was.
And would it have been tagging his handle?
Yes, his username.
Wow.
During an earlier interview that you had with Mr. Murphy, did you make any kind of observations that were unique that you actually relayed to Detective Ramos as it relates to this investigation?
Yes, when he was signing his constitutional rights form, which is just a form we go over with people prior to interviewing them on a criminal investigation, there's a portion of this form where they have to sign confirming they acknowledge all of their constitutional rights that have been advised to them. And I observed he was signing the form with his right hand, and it was I couldn't read it. I asked him if he was okay, and then it occurred to me later in the interview that he was doing that on purpose because one of the shooters in this investigation is left-handed, and I was able to obtain a separate interview where Rashad Murphy was read his rights and he signed that form with his left hand. So it was apparent when he was signing the form in front of me, he was signing it with his right hand. I couldn't read anything he was writing.
So in your earlier or in the earlier interview of Rashad Murphy, would that have been before the death of Charles Jones in an unrelated investigation?
Yes.
What?
Overruled, go ahead.
Were you able to observe the hand that Mr. Murphy signed his documents with?
He signed.
Overruled, go ahead.
He signed it with his left hand on that occasion.
Then, during the course of your investigation or assistance to the Tampa Police Department investigation for the homicide of Charles Jones, was Rashad Murphy interviewed?
Yes.
And did he utilize a different hand in signing those forms?
He was attempting to sign it with his right hand.
On June 26, just a few days after the homicide, did you learn of any particular developments out of Gwinnett County, Georgia, that were relevant to the investigation?
Detective Ramos did share with us that Rashad Murphy had been taken into custody in a county in Georgia.
Was Rashad Murphy taken into custody by himself?
No.
Was he accompanied by another individual?
He was with a lady named Charmaine Steiger.
Do you know Charmaine Steiger to be the mother of Mr. Murphy's children?
She is.
As a part of that arrest, was Ms. Steiger and Mr. Murphy's cell phone seized?
It was.
And as your assisting Tampa Police Department, if items of evidentiary value are seized in conjunction with the Tampa investigation, do you take those items into evidence and then ultimately provide them to the detectives in Tampa?
Yes.
On the same date of June 26th, did you learn of a development as it related to the Chevy Impala that Detective Jesus had mentioned was a potential suspect vehicle?
Yes, there was further communication that black Chevrolet Impala had been dropped off in a separate county in Florida by Sean Gathright, and he switched it for a gold Toyota 4Runner.
So the black Chevy Impala, may I confirm that was located in Polk County?
That sounds right.
Was Sean Gathright ultimately stopped in a vehicle stop in Duval County in that 4Runner?
Overall, go ahead.
He was.
And was that also on June 26th?
Yes, ma'am.
Pursuant to a search of that vehicle, were you notified of the findings or the items that were located within the gold 4Runner that Sean Gathright was stopped in?
I was notified.
Within that vehicle, was there a cellular device that was taken into evidence?
Yes.
Was there also a new phone in a box?
Yes, there was.
Was there ballistics evidence that was impounded?
Yes.
And did that include spent shell casings from the interior of that vehicle?
Yes, there were spent shell casings in a box inside of the vehicle he was driving.
Did you relay the findings to Detective Ramos?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you aware of whether each and every one of those exhibits or items were impounded at that time?
They were.
By June 27th, the Thursday after the homicide, did you develop sufficient probable cause with other members of JSO to execute a search warrant on the residence of Sean Gathright and Isaiah Chance?
Yes.
Yep.
Was there any evidence of potential or any potential items that you were specifically searching for based on a lack of evidence at the original homicide scene?
So Tampa did share with us through the video surveillance at the incident scene, as well as their information regarding the crime scene, that there appeared to be a lack of shell casings from where the shooters were shooting. In their opinion, based off that fact and the video evidence, they believe that the shooters were equipped with brass catchers on their rifles.
Were you notified at the execution of those search warrants that brass catchers had been discovered inside of the safe in Sean Gaathright's residence?
Yes.
Were you also notified that several items of spent and live ammunition were located?
Yes.
What about firearms specifically? Were there firearms located inside that residence?
There were multiple firearms.
As it relates to the 2 rifles that were obtained or seized, did you transfer custody of those rifles to the Tampa Police Department?
A detective within the Crime Gun Intelligence Center did, but that was done.
Upon the execution of these search warrants, was it organized that the warrants would be executed simultaneous with each other?
That was the goal.
To have them executed at the same time?
Yes.
Is that a tactic that is typically enacted? Overall, go ahead.
That was a plan decided by our commanding officer, our lieutenant. He wanted both search warrants executed at the same time.
Are you familiar with the circumstances of the warrant execution at the Isaiah Chance residence?
Yes.
Was the goal of having both warrants executed simultaneously actually accomplished?
It was.
Was there any delay at the Chance residence before the warrant could be executed?
Overall. Overall, go ahead.
There was a significant delay for the occupants of Isaiah Chance's house to come out.
Who were the occupants of Isaiah Chance's residence?
Overall, go ahead.
Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews.
Upon the execution of the search warrant, once they actually exited the residence, upon the execution of the search warrant, is this the day in which the device from Miss Andrews, from which we've seen the extraction reports, came?
Yes.
Alicia, not looking great.
In addition to the search warrants for the physical electronic devices that you helped or obtained, did you also obtain a search warrant for iCloud?
There were additional iCloud warrants completed. Would
that have been for Mr. Chance, Davion Murphy, and Miss Andrews?
Yes.
After obtaining those warrants for iCloud, do you send those out, or is that an immediate return? How do you get that information?
The search warrant is drafted, signed by a judge, and then ultimately sent to Apple requesting the digital data associated with that account. And then at some point following that, it's typically 2 to 3 weeks, Apple will provide a digital return, which we can download the files and review the accounts that way.
The actual Axiom iCloud returns, would that be something that was reviewed, extractions, reviewed, reports created by the Tampa Police Department?
Yes.
While you are waiting for the return of those search warrants, did you have an opportunity to utilize something called cell phone mapping?
Yes.
And can you explain to the jury what that is?
It's taking the digital data provided by cell phone carriers that is related to the location data for your cell phone device, and we are able to map it and observe approximate locations of a cell phone device at the desired search time.
Were you involved in reviewing the data for the cell site from Rashad Murphy's device?
I did.
What, if any, information did you learn from that data?
We observed that Rashad Murphy traveled to a Walmart on the Jacksonville's south side area and was there for a short period of time and then left. So we knew the date and time that he went there. It was the day before, it was June 21st of 2024. And so we traveled to Walmart, made contact with one of their associates and requested to view their video surveillance.
You also have an opportunity to save the video from the Walmart visit.
I did.
Showing U.S. Martha states 99 and 100.
Okay.
The item contained on the disc of the Walmart recording, are you the person who made the recording from the Walmart?
Yes.
And is the item in 100 a fair and accurate representation of a screen grab from that recording?
Yes.
At this time, state seeks to admit states 99 and 100, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Okay.
Admitted.
You were able to get a recording from the video surveillance from Walmart, right?
Yes.
And from that were still shots created of Rashad Murphy inside and states 100.
Yes.
Did you provide this information from the June 21st, roughly 11 p.m. visit to Walmart to Detective Juan Ramos?
I provided him the video, yes.
Had you had an opportunity at this point when you received this cell site data to review the videos from the Julio Folio murder?
I had observed the video of the murder prior to obtaining this, yes.
And was there a reason that you provided these particular images to the detective?
Yes.
What was that?
The clothes that Rashad Murphy is wearing in his trip to Walmart appears to be the same clothes that he's wearing when he kills Julio.
Were you also able to see the device that Rashad Murphy was using in his Walmart trip?
Yes, he's using the cell phone device that's ultimately seized in Georgia.
For the surveillance footage that you saw from Walmart, was Mr. Murphy by himself?
He was walking around the store by himself.
Did you also obtain the receipt from the transaction that Mr. Murphy had at this time?
Yes.
All of this information ultimately being provided to Detective Ramos?
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, was it confirmed by you that arrest warrants had been obtained for all 5 of the defendants by July 27th of 2024?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, cross.
All right. So that's the end of the initial direct testimony from this gentleman. What do y'all think as far as this investigation goes? We're going to hear cross-examination of this shortly. It's going to be interesting to see how they defend this. A lot of it seems indefensible, to be honest. She had the cell phone. She had those images. She was in communication with another cell phone. It's not looking great, man. This is tough. All right, now let's go ahead and get into cross-examination and find out exactly what this has to do with Alicia Andrews and if she is actually defensible when it comes to this cell phone she had with images of Julio taunting, seemingly taunting his ops. Check it out. Man. Y'all think she's cooked? She might be.
All right, Detective Drabeck, you are the lead in JSO for this case. Is that correct?
I would say I helped the most, helping Tampa facilitate this case, yes.
You spoke to Detective Ramos from Tampa Police Department the most. Is that correct?
I'm not quite sure how much he spoke to the other detectives within our unit. I know it was significant. I know my communication with Ramos was quite a bit. I don't know how that pales in comparison to the others.
All right. Well, you gave Detective Ramos most of the information from JSO, right?
For the most part, yeah.
All right. And you are in charge of what gangs in?
Where's he going with this?
In Jacksonville?
21st Street and Rat Chasing Family.
All right. Are any of those two gangs associated with in any way ATK or 1200 or 6 Block?
No.
They're like completely separate?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did 6 Block have any other rival gangs outside of ATK and 1200?
I would say those two were the most noteworthy.
Most noteworthy, but were there other rival gangs to 6 Block?
Not that I can think of.
All right. I want to move to a different topic. You said that there were celebratory posts from people in ATK, maybe even 1200, after Julio died. Is that correct?
There was a tremendous amount of posts following his death.
A lot of people made posts celebrating the fact that Charles Jones was dead.
Yes.
A lot of people wanted him dead, apparently.
Yes.
All those people were not guilty of killing him, though. Is that correct?
No.
Alicia Andrews did not make any celebratory posts about Charles Jones's death. Is that correct?
Correct. Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Not that anyone is aware of, correct?
Yes, sir.
There's an exhibit that we were just looking at. It's 76, states 76. B. 5 through 7. I'm going to show you these one by one, starting with 5. This is a document. It says, you see at the top it says Cellbrite? Oh, hold on. You see at the top it says Cellbrite?
I see that, yes.
All right, and Cellbrite is a cell phone reader software. Is that correct?
Yeah, Cellbrite's an application investigators use to review cell phone extractions.
All right. And so this Cellbrite report here is an extraction of, or at least a portion of an extraction of Alicia's phone. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And this little photo here, that's a photo of Julio, Charles Jones?
Yeah, so that's a thumbnail of what the data to the left is referencing.
All right. And this thumbnail, that thumbnail was created on June 26th?
I can't say yes or no to that.
Is that what the extraction says, that it was created on June 26th?
That's what the extraction
But you're not
notates.
sure if that's how, if that's the way to correctly read that or interpret that extraction?
Sure. The best way to describe this is that this is, from what we know, because the device was activated on June 26th, it appeared that the user of this cell phone device was backing up their prior iCloud. So if you were to buy a new phone, you would transfer your data through your iCloud download. So it's transferring your contacts, a lot of your old media files. So I can't say for certain when this post or this image was captured originally, but due to the transfer of data on June 26th, that's why it's timestamped that way. So I can't say when it was captured.
All right. So essentially, someone who had this device downloaded, I guess, their iCloud onto the device.
Yes.
And then potentially this thumbnail
What's the point?
that you see of Julio came from that download. Potentially.
Yes.
So we don't know when this picture of Julio was actually viewed and downloaded to the device or to the iCloud.
That's fair.
All right. And this is the thumbnail, but a bigger picture of it.
Yeah.
Do you know if Alicia Andrews, so let me tell you, you don't know if Alicia Andrews accessed this photograph?
I can say that the device she possessed, the iCloud that is downloaded onto that device and where this image came from was from her iCloud, but specifically, did she personally view it? I can't say that.
You're aware that her boyfriend used to use her phone, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Another extraction, another thumbnail. You see that? This is 76B6.
Yep.
Same sort of thing. June the 26th is the creation date. You see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And this
What's
is the
your
picture of,
point?
you said red dot. right?
The gentleman to the right in that image is
I'll show you.
Torgon, ATK Red Dot.
Okay. And the fact that this photograph is in Alicia's phone, what relevance does that have to this case?
Well, Fat Zay to the left, he was in music videos with one of the defendants.
He was in a music video with one of the defendants?
Yeah, Isaiah Chance.
Oh, was he in a music video
That's a
with
great
Alicia
point,
Andrews?
No, you're just asking the significance. And then also ATK Red Dot, he just plays a role in a lot of the historical Jacksonville gang war.
All right. Do you have any communication between Red Dot and Alicia Andrews?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you know if she even knows him?
I don't know that.
Do you know if she knows the bigger individual in the photograph, Alicia Andrews?
I don't know that.
Okay.
Another Cellbrite extraction report. All right, June 27th. You see that date?
I do.
And the thumbnail there, you see it?
Yes.
That thumbnail is of an individual named Spaz.
To the left, yes.
Spaz is on the left. Who's on the right, you know?
I believe that's Corbin.
Corbin?
I believe so, yeah.
Another individual who died?
Yeah.
That's the one that was that Charles Jones was rapping about being kidnapped and found in a field of his bones.
Yeah, it's the circumstances around his death, yeah.
And do you know if Alicia Andrews knew either of those two individuals?
I don't know that now.
But that's what was pulled from her phone, those 3 thumbnails, correct?
Yeah.
You also mentioned that you got the iCloud
Basically,
return
Sean,
for Alicia Andrews, is that correct?
Yeah.
And what I mean when I say iCloud return, or when you receive the iCloud return, that's everything that was in Alicia Andrews' iCloud. You got a copy of it.
It was provided, yes.
All right, like over 100 gigabytes worth of data?
I don't recall how large the data was.
All right, but it was a large file?
I don't recall.
You remember it took a long time to download?
I don't remember.
All right. And you don't recall finding anything noteworthy in that iCloud?
No, those data files were provided to the Tampa Police Department for review.
All right, so you didn't look at them at all?
No.
Was he supposed to?
You searched, or at least you were involved in the search of a few different homes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you actually search, or were you present during the search warrant of Sean Gathwright's home?
I was present when we made contact with his mother. I read the search warrant to her, but I was not present during the actual search of his home.
Where was his mother when you read the search warrant to her?
Outside of the house.
And you read the search warrant to her before the search?
So it was previously discussed. We were facilitating 2 search warrants at the same time, one at Isaiah Chance's house and also one at Sean Gathwright's house. Once both scenes were secured, I went to Sean Gathwright's house, made contact with his mother because I had previously met her before, so I had a rapport with her. I read the search warrant to her, which is a common practice we do before we enter someone's home. And then upon reading her the search warrant, I, for lack of better terms, passed off that search warrant to other detectives. And then I traveled back to Isaiah Chance's home to help facilitate the search of his house.
Okay, so you searched Isaiah Chance's home, but not Sean Gathwright's home?
Yes.
All right. Who actually searched, which detective searched Sean Gathwright's home?
The affiant, Detective Parker.
All right. So he'd be the one to ask about where the items inside the home were found?
Or the crime scene detectives.
All right. Do you know if the firearms in Sean Gathwright's house, the ones that were in the rifle, that were in the safe, do you know if those were found in his mother's room?
I was informed that the safe was his mother's room.
So the rifles and the shotgun, those are in his mother's room?
Correct, in the safe.
His mother is former military?
She is.
She also had access to a bunch of ammunition, is that correct?
I did learn that there was an abundance of ammunition inside of their home.
All right, so the arsenal of weapons and ammunition that were found in Sean Gathwright's home, were you ever able to determine what actually belonged to Sean Gathwright from what belongs to his mother?
Don't give me a second.
No.
But surely, out of all the pictures, you've seen the pictures from the search warrant, correct?
Yes, sir, I have.
So out of all the pictures, you're not able to say what actually belonged to Sean Gathwright?
No.
And what belonged to his mother?
Correct.
And Alicia Andrews' home, that was never searched, correct?
Correct.
All right. Why not?
Well, law enforcement is held to a standard of having probable cause in order to search a home. Absent having probable cause to apply for a search warrant that would then be signed by a judge, you would simply ask for consent to search a home. I do not believe that probable cause ever existed to search the residence of Alicia Andrews.
So there was never even probable cause to search Alicia Andrews' home?
As far as I'm aware, no.
All right, not even till this day?
Correct.
You mentioned on direct in October 2023 shooting of Charles Jones, correct?
Yes.
An attempt at his life?
Correct.
And that crime has gone unsolved?
Yes, there's been no arrest on that case.
All right. And there's also no probable cause to arrest anyone for that case at this point?
Correct.
2 years later?
Yep.
Certainly Alicia Andrews is not a suspect in that shooting, correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you have any indication that she even knows about that shooting?
I don't.
Do you know of a woman named Aaliyah Albritton?
Yes.
One thing. Showing what's in evidence is State's Exhibit 84C. Now, you're not the gang detective for ATK, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. But do you know who Youngin Ace is?
Yes.
All right. That would be this individual here,
Yes.
the so-called leader of ATK.
I don't know if he's the leader, but he's certainly the more well-known prominent. Yeah.
Okay, safe to say. All right. So, you're aware of his brother, this Trayvon Bullard?
Yes, sir.
Nickname is
We know
Quan
all
Quan?
about Young and Ace.
Yep, 2 times.
All right. And Trayvon Bullard, and Quan Quan 2 times, he dated at one point Aaliyah Albritton, correct?
I was made aware of that, yes.
All right. And Trayvon was killed. Do you know who killed him?
There's been rumors, but no one's been arrested.
All right. No one's been arrested, but 6 Block takes credit for the killing. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Charles Jones himself rapped about Trayvon's killing
Yes.
and has made disrespectful music towards the death of Trayvon. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And did you speak, by any chance, did you speak to Aaliyah in this case?
No, sir.
All right. When you were investigating, you were aware that Aaliyah was with Charles Jones when he was shot and killed?
Yeah.
All right. And that was despite the fact that Aaliyah dated someone that Charles Jones rapped about killing.
Okay.
You're aware of that?
Yeah.
All right. Did you investigate Aaliyah for any potential motive for killing Charles Jones in this case?
That is a fair question. You're using the term investigating. This homicide occurred in Hillsborough County, right? So the duties of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office gang unit specifically was to assist Tampa Police Department in their investigation. At no point, were we referencing Aaliyah Albritton for an interview. So no, she was not talked to on our behalf.
So fair question, fair answer. You are in Jacksonville. This murder happened in Tampa, right?
Yes.
So you're not responsible for any investigation really in Tampa, is what you're saying?
The legal jurisdiction of a homicide occurring in Hillsborough County has no implications for law enforcement in Duval County.
But just in the simple terms, you're not responsible for the investigation in Tampa.
No.
That's Detective Ramos.
Correct.
Another individual, he's the lead.
Right, and he's employed in Hillsborough County.
Understood. All right, so Alicia has an iCloud and a phone.
Andrews.
2 different things.
Miss Andrews.
Sorry, Miss Andrews has an iCloud and a phone. 2 different
Who's he talking about?
devices that would provide 2 different extractions. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you also, in addition to the iCloud, you reviewed Alicia Andrews' phone, correct?
Portions of it.
Portions. All right, and the portions that you reviewed, there's no agreement in the phone that shows Alicia Andrews agreed to kill Charles Jones?
What?
No.
No message showing that she's involved in some conspiracy to kill Charles Jones?
No.
No indication that Alicia Andrews knew Davion or Rashad Murphy prior to the killing of Charles Jones?
Not from her device.
And nothing in her device that would show or indicate that she had any sort of relationship with Sean Gathright prior to the murder of Charles Jones, correct?
Correct.
You listened to several jail calls in this case, right?
I spend a large amount of my time on jail calls.
How many jail calls do you think you listened to?
Over the course of my career?
No, just in this case.
I would estimate 50 to 100.
All right. And you began listening to those jail calls in the early stages of the investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
To try to figure out maybe if there's someone in jail talking about who killed Charles Jones.
Yes.
You did get some information pertinent to this case through listening to the jail calls, correct?
Yes.
All right. That information led you to Isaiah Chance.
It was just another piece of evidence. I don't know if that led me to him, but...
Well, there was some evidence from the jail calls that you uncovered that made you believe that Isaiah Chance might be a suspect, correct?
Yes.
All right. But never anything in the jail calls that led you to believe that Alicia Andrews was a suspect, right?
Correct.
No mention of Alicia Andrews in any of the calls?
None.
You've watched several music videos with all this gang activity back and forth?
Yes, sir.
Alicia Andrews is not in any of those videos, correct?
Correct.
She's not seen holding any weapons in any of these videos?
Right.
She's not seen throwing up any gang signs in any of these videos?
I already said she's not in the videos.
All right. She doesn't have any photographs online, throwing up any gang signs, correct?
Correct.
Alicia Andrews is not a documented gang member, is that correct?
Right.
She's also not even a gang associate, correct?
Right.
No further questions.
Okay, redirect.
Very briefly, Your Honor. You were asked about some jail calls that you reviewed in Duval County. Were those jail calls that occurred immediately after the death of Charles Jones?
Yes.
And were those jail calls between gang members or their family members identifying Gutazay or Isaiah Chance as the person who committed the murder?
Yes.
Were any of those jail calls with Isaiah Chance or Gutazay talking about committing the murder?
Like how he committed it?
No, specifically to Isaiah Chance. Made to Isaiah Chance, or were they made between other gang members?
Other parties.
Specifically as it relates to the search warrant executed on SeanGathright's residence, you were asked about the safe in the mother's room.
Okay.
Did you also intercept a jail call as it relates to the safe that was located in the house?
Say that again?
Did you locate a call that was made by Sean Gathright to his mother about a safe located in the house?
It was Isaiah Chance.
To Sean Gathright's mother?
There was a jail call following a search warrant between Isaiah Chance and his mother.
And what was the nature of the call? What were they talking about?
He was inquiring if the law enforcement had found something, and she told them on the phone that we had not. So we went back out there to search again.
And pursuant to the details of that call, was the item that was described located in that location still?
No.
You were asked about the contents of Miss Andrews' physical device. That is the download for which you had access and could review. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it also correct that that device was active for less than 24 hours?
Yes.
So from the time that that device was turned on
That's
for the
a
first
burner.
time and the time that it was seized by law enforcement was less than 24-hour period?
Yes.
And that would have been between June 26th and June 27th?
Correct.
Now, you are not able to date, based on the impound of the items that were collected and the upload of the iCloud, you are not able to date most of those photos because they would just reflect the date that the iCloud is downloaded to that device, correct?
That's correct.
Are you at least able to date the image that depicted the reel from Mr. Jones's Instagram account based on the records from Instagram and publishing states 95C3?
So we do know that that post was made to his account in February of 2024.
So at some time between February of 2024 and when that phone was impounded in June of 2024, that item was preserved or saved to the device?
Yes.
You were asked about probable cause to search the residences associated to this case. Was there sufficient evidence by way of cell site data that put the devices at both Sean Gathright and Isaiah Chance's residence, as well as video footage that put all of the suspects or some of the suspects at those locations?
Yes.
Did that assist in allowing you to get probable cause for those locations?
Yes.
was there direct evidence that the defendants in this case had been to Ms. Andrews' residence for you to apply for a search warrant of that residence?
No.
Wow.
And when you specifically indicate that you had been to Sean Gathrigh's residence, have you had an opportunity to review the surveillance footage, which is depicted in State's Exhibit number 98 from the security footage at Sean Gathrigh's residence?
I've seen those videos, yes.
Are you familiar with the security cameras that are affixed to the outside of his residence?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you familiar with that Victoria Lakes address at his home?
Yes.
Is that residence located within Duval County?
Yes.
One moment, Your Honor.
If all these dudes stopped using social media today, some of these people wouldn't have a job. Why are they up on social media? Come on, man. Not that I want anybody to lose their job, but dang. All they do is sit here and stalk y'all on Instagram. That's not all they do. I'll be respectful. Big part of it.
As a part of your review of the video surveillance from Sean Gathrigh's residence, are you able to say that it fairly and accurately represents the exterior of that home?
Yes.
And lastly, from your involvement in this case with the execution of the search warrants, as well as the work of the crime scene detectives and other officers from JSO, have your contacts with Mrs. Andrews always been at Mr. Chance's residence as it related to this case? So for the execution of the search warrant, the impounding of the devices, etc.
Yeah.
Did any of those contacts happen at Mrs. Andrews' residence, which would allow for a potential for probable cause to search there?
No.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, did this witness be excused? Subject potentially to recall? I don't know.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, what do y'all think so far? Interesting connections made. Why did Alicia have a burner? Why did she have information about Julio on there? What was going on? Did they get messy? Did they make a mistake? So much of this is not making sense, and I think it does. The prosecution did a good point of pointing to Alicia's connection, not only to Julio, but to the others who were involved in the actual shooting. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. We're gonna get up out of here, y'all. We got 12,000 of you in the building. Nearly almost all of y'all have liked the video. If y'all could, please make sure you like the video on your way out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time that we go live. I know a lot of y'all think she's cooked. We're going to probably talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, so you don't want to miss out. All right, I appreciate everybody that supported, everyone that showed some love in there as well. Shout out to my awesome, amazing Amy. I hope you'll have a great rest of your afternoon. We're going to be dropping some clips today as well, so make sure y'all tune in for that. And as always, you know what to do. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We gon' pace. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for the love.